Oh, Veronica.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations on the win. How are you feeling about that performance?
Well, I'm happy to get another win this year. It's been a mad year. Marrying Dan Hardy, I just didn't know it was going to be that much of a wild ride, but here we are a year later, and now I'm pretty happy. Obviously there's things that I feel like I could have done better, but I'll always feel like that.
The first round was pretty good. You got a couple of knockdowns on her, timing those kicks that she was throwing really well. And then she came out with a more grappling heavy approach in the second and even in the third a little bit. So how did you feel about the second two rounds in terms of like the judges' scorecards?
Well, I feel like I landed the more damage, just the whole fight itself. I did only I got clipped. I think maybe not clipped, but I got punched like one time in the that I remember, like one time hard in the first round that it was off an exchange. And then in the third round, I got hit with an elbow, but it wasn't anything that I felt was significant in comparison to the damage that I felt like I was doing, the punches I was landing, the kicks. It was all more towards my favor. So just the holding of the fence. I mean, I don't think it's 2012 anymore where you can just hold somebody and then get a win that way. It's about damage, and I just felt like I did more of it.
And we saw you get a couple of up kicks in there. Did any of those land really flush?
I think they did, like from my angle, it just looked like it really phased her. And I feel like maybe one or two of them landed. Certainly in the chest, it did land, but I could tell that it was bothering her, and it looked like it did hurt.
Gotcha. And how would you kind of, I guess, summarize your year? Like you said, 2 wins, pretty good run, right? So how would you summarize this year, and what are you expecting going into next year in 2024?
I feel like this year was a lot about self-growth. It was a lot about like believing in myself a bit more, just to realize that a lot of my failures and a lot of my losses and stuff have been due to circumstances outside of myself, and that I am capable of doing this. I just need the right circumstances around me, and I do have that now with my family, with my team, and with everybody that spends the time to help me. And I just want to make them proud. And with their support, I feel like I can do this.
So what's next for you? And you're still right there outside of the rankings. Do you want a ranked opponent next, or what are you eyeing for your next time out?
I'm not too sure. You don't really get to choose. Jamie was somebody that I trained with. I wouldn't have liked to fight her. I would have liked to fight somebody else, but you don't really get to choose here. So whatever they do give me, for me, it's more about just being ready for the opponent that I have in front of me, and just having a bit of time so I can make sure that I am prepared. And that for me is the most important thing, because everybody, ranked or not, is tough in this division. Like, everyone's tough. You have somebody that comes in, whether they're making their debut or anything, and the level is so high that like a number is a number. I mean, it's great to get towards the belt or to get towards advancing in your career, but man, everybody here is tough, and everybody's giving it their all, because it's a dream to be here.
Right over here. Obviously, you had a long layoff, but since you're 2-0, like you mentioned, you've done great since you've come back. Tell me, what's been some of the biggest things that you've improved on, whether that's personally or professionally, since your time away?
Everything's changed. Everything I haven't been in a single place for this long since I was 15. It's going to be 4 years in the UK. Marrying Dan Hardy definitely helped. But it's just just having some stability, just having a family unit around me, having people that I love and that I trust, and that I can fight for, that I can put in the work for, that I can make a structure, and also going through a camp with them for the second time, it made it a lot more smooth, because we were able to see take out the parts that didn't really work on the first camp and build up on it, instead of starting something new, starting from somewhere fresh, like trying to figure out where anything is in the first place. It just took up so much of my thinking that now I don't need it. Everything was planned to the point that I had no injuries during camp. I would talk to Dan, talk to my coaches. I would call Paul Reed, who's in charge of my nutrition, my strength conditioning, and I would tell him, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is that. And he would tell me, okay, well, back off that day, do this, do that, and not just me being like, oh, I could do this, I could do 8 more sessions today, and then end up injured and 2 weeks out. It's a smarter approach.
And then my last one for you. I don't mean to be like your marriage counselor, but you've mentioned so much about Dan Hardy. I just want to ask, what is that dynamic like? It seems as if you just seem glowing every time you talk about him. You thanked him after the fight. Just tell me, what is that dynamic like as both husband and ex-fighter as well?
Man, you say that, and I'm like tearing up. I love him so much, so much, just more than anything in the world. And to be able to come here and to do what I love and to do it with him and to just continue on this journey, because that's the thing, you lose and it just feels, not only does it feel horrific, but you're just back in the line and you don't get this opportunity to really, really go for it and really dedicate your life to it. So just to get a win just means that I'm able to, go home and continue to geek out about some technique that somebody landed. Yeah, and that's just so cool. That's just so sick. Just that I found a love like that is for me the biggest victory in the world. Sorry.